Hello everybody and welcome to another Beyond a Reason video. So here we have today a 4v4 on Cape Violet.
Right, so let's take a look at the teams. Let's do the red team first. So we've got Autopilot here in the South Sea playing as Cortex. Then we have just north of him, watch me do this, going for a bit of a long walk in order to get to that next metal extractor. Then we have Juma playing in the center here, and then finally Slick Like Vic going for a bit of a long walk to build a bot lab right on the edge here, probably doing that in order to get constructors to build the other metal extractors that are on the land. Like there's one just there, and there's one behind the mini map just over there. Also gives him the ability to build a bunch of energy on land and the geo as well. This does mean that his eco will be a bit more safer than if it's in the water, at least, giving him more security. And on the opposite side, we have Emery here going into the sea as a marder. In the center, we have Quaif building vehicles on just 2 metal extractors. In the back, we have In the Club going Cortex bots. And finally, we have Fiddler in the sea on a single metal point, just about to build his second one here. Now Fiddler will be 2v1 in this bottom sea, so it's going to be a little bit difficult, and also building a supporter straight off, which is interesting, probably just for a scout.
Fiddler on a single mech is going to be tough. It looks like In the Club actually has all these mechs planned at the bottom. Maybe he's planning to give them to Fiddler, or he might be planning to just calm me up and maybe build some build power to assist Fiddler. Emery does have a lot of mexes up here. Emery can obviously take these ones on the initial islands, but he's also got this section here. Fiddler will be 2v1 now in this southern sea. So let's have a look at the map quickly. So as you can see, start positions include a single geo at the bottom and a geo up here as well. There is metal points along the center, which is where Quaif is planning a hold. This water section here is not deep enough that battleships can pass through, so Tech 2C is going to be a bit useless to a degree. Tech 2C will do good damage if a boat can get up here, for example, and hit In the Club's base with either missile ships or battleships, but they will not be able to impact the due to the fact that, you know, they can't really do much. Meanwhile, at the top, we do see Emery already in action with double Dolphin here, attempting to take out this tree. Emery is not aware that a torpedo defense is getting... Oh no, he get it killed in time, but unfortunately Emery here, the torpedo defense is doing a good job at stopping them, and that build power will be enough to stop Emery, and also losing both Dolphins there as well. Still in a fairly decent position. Vic slowly making his way out his commander, but Emery is actually pushed out really quickly with this ship con here. Already getting that metal extractor. Be interesting to see if he builds a torpedo defense here and just basically plonk down on this position. If he does, it's hard for him to maneuver. Boats do better in open areas where they can maneuver around, but already building a torpedo defense, it's going to be hard for Slick's com to walk out of. Oh, actually, okay. Leaving that one and instead building one here. This is a interesting position because it means that longer range units are not really going to be able to shoot, because this torpedo defense is basically covering a line like this. Ignore the fact that it's slightly odd because of the terrain that it draws on, but so technically a boat can get right up here and like shoot units over here. But this torpedo doesn't get built just in time as the sun comes out. Does get it on, and as the first destroyer rocks up as well with Dolphin support, Emery is in a pretty strong position now to hold that. Emery with more metal as well will be able to do a good job at holding that. in theory. Now the question is whether Fiddler can hold the 7C. Fiddler being 2v1 here will be down on metal. So it's going to be the plan here of whether Club and such is able to hold out. If Juma pushes across the middle here, where Crafe is holding on with very, very small amount of units and small amount of defenses, that'll be the question. Juma will need to apply pressure. Fiddler knows he's in problems here, but having only 2 ships, he's already got, you know, 3 assault frigates to contend with, and there's another 2 assault frigates up there as well. Of what we do, Fiddler's build won't be enough. Loses the destroyer. Res sub is already on its way though to at least get the metal. Does trade 1 ship for 1 ship, but a assault frigate is not worth as much as a destroyer. Fiddler now eating all of the metal. Losing another destroyer. Frigate rather. Well, almost. And you can see that Fiddler's actually pushed up to a further kind of position than his opponent on the other side. Although I feel like this area, I don't know if it's just, you know, just my thingy, but oh no, but this is basically, this line here is where he's pushed up. The Fiddler is beyond that, giving him more area to dodge and duck and weave with ships. But if Fiddler does get pushed further back, you know. Good. Shurikens, though, coming in. Watch me do this. His entire navy EMP'd. Can keep going. Catch some pilots. And now this is a big, big lot of ships by the orange team. A lot EMP'd. Fiddlers, well, not superior. Naval force here able to turn around help of these destroyers. Sorry, shurikens rather.
Commander has fallen.
Both comms walk into each other, killing each other there. And being realistic there, what did they get? They got 2 assault frigates, a destroyer, a bunch of shurikens. That's a pretty good deal. He's just got to keep this alive whilst he gets the Rex. Now, interesting enough, we see Autopilot here actually has just got an assault frigate who can't actually really contest the reclaim of the res sub. And every time Watch Me Do This builds a destroyer, it gets taken out pretty much instantly. Very good trades here for Fiddler. Only a single Riptide left. More reinforcements come for Autopilot, but Autopilot able to get quite a bit of the reclaim with 2 res subs, losing 1 already though. And the submarine may get killed pretty quickly here. Most of the Comrex were claimed there by Fiddler. Quave's commander now though in a weird position here. Don't know quite what the plan was. Down to 55% health. Still no pressure going to Quave's front line. He's got plenty of, well, not even plenty of defenses. He's got a couple of Janices and a Beamer. Quave without the energy though. Read free comms currently. Dip, duck, dive, and dodge in. Quafe with 6% health, and does manage to get out on 5%. No, 6% still. Meanwhile, Club has donated his commander here to Fiddler in order to try and keep holding. Club going in for a bombing run now. Meanwhile, Emery along the top is just slowly but surely whittling Slick Like Vic down. The building of 2 con turrets here is going to be enough to pretty much hold this front forever. all of these boats are going to be able to be maintained. Slick like Vic's con turret's a bit further back here, but Slick will eventually lose out there, not having enough metal compared to Emery. The bombing run comes in. It sees that Tech 2 is in the middle for Juma. Hitting quite a bit of the energy production of Juma there. Now going for the Geo. Almost gets the Geo in one pass, just not enough. And now as it swings back round, 2 bombers will be enough to finish off that Geo. Takes out quite a bit of Slick Like Vic's energy though at the same time. Meanwhile, some more bombers are left to patrol around. Now hitting the energy production of Autopilot. Autopilot though is finishing off his Geo and does have a fair amount of tidals, so not necessarily going to be as big a hit. Also having energy storage is going to help with that, but Autopilot focusing mostly on the front here. This is quite a lot of Navy that Fiddler is having to deal with. A commander was lost here at the top by Emery. Walked a bit too far forward. Trying to support his ships, and potentially dangerous position here for Slick. His comm is just out of the water, and the trades are going pretty favorably. Slick now down to 3 ships though, and Emery still has 5, although 3 of them are pretty heavily damaged. Quickly checking back at the bottom, Fiddler has been forced back a bit. Fiddler still with not enough ships when compared to his opponents. Destroyer will take out the res sub though, denying the reclaim. 4 res subs for Fiddler will do enough. Slick Like Vic's comm was just exposed there for a second, but look how many torpedoes are going straight towards Slick's comm. 56% health, and Slick has been pushed away from his hard position here, meaning that Emery is able to pressure more and more. The bombers are still going in the background, slowly just taking out metal extractors. And down quite a lot of metal extractors in total. Autopilot has had to have his comm all the way back to help rebuild. Not having any land-based units. He did get a single land-based constructor, but still. You can see Juma is trying to build up a bit of a, well, as you can see, a platypus push, but realistically that might be a little bit too late. He could have pressured straight down the middle, but the problem here is vision.
Commander has fallen.
We do briefly miss that, but that is a dead commander wreck from Slick Like Vic. And we do see that Juma actually rebuilt the mexes up here for Autopilot as well. And Indicom expects a push here, but nothing from Quaif yet. And this is kind of a problem. So the top's getting pushed, bottom is holding Fiddler. Fiddler's job is literally to hold out against 2 players, and he is 2v1ing very, very well here. The fact that he's able to do this is amazing. Autopilot just doesn't have the depth charges, really, and not enough destroyers in order to deal with the sheer quantity of res subs that are just keeping Fiddler's units alive, as well as Fiddler's comm. And in this battle of attrition, Fiddler is winning. Again, bear in mind that the opposite side of the map, Emery is pushed up and is killed basically up to here. You know, and Fiddler is all the way out here in the open sea, fighting 2 players, getting most of the reclaim as well. And that's a big thing, is most of this ship reclaim is going to Fiddler. He got both of the comm wrecks as well. And it is 2-2 with comms. Autopilot and Fiddler's comm is at the bottom here. And Juma's is the last comm in the center. And there's not much in the center here at all, but Team in the club is focusing entirely on sea-based combat here. good communication with the blue team here. Communicating what each of them are doing. Sticking to the plan. Indiclub telling his team what he's up to. Quaif saying how much he needs for the rattle. You can see here he's building not a rattlesnake, but a persecutor. And this is going to be big because this is going to be able to take out, watch me do this, it's factory. It's left there, but to be honest with you, it looks like it's probably going to be dead before that. Autopilot had to pull his forces back, and because of no pressure from Autopilot, Fiddler was able to come up, destroy that base, and now Watch Me Do This has no unit production for a very short amount of time. 2 destroys here. Autopilot goes for a self-D. Misses his opportunity, but as we quickly switch back here, Emery has managed to push in, taking out the entire force of Slick Like Vic. And now Slick Like Vic has nothing left. Huge amount of metal left at the top here. 7K's worth of metal. And Emery now pretty much without anything at all. Autopilot at the bottom does manage to kind of take out quite a lot of Fiddler's ships. That was a bit of a mistake from Fiddler. Fiddler realizes that, going, I troll. But Autopilot now, because of that Persecutor, which is a bit difficult to see, there we go, is basically forced back to that line. Autopilot will get a lot of metal now, though. It's well over 3K there before it started. And what is the plan? We see Emery transitioning into Turtles here, stopping building any more ships and focusing purely on getting that amphibious landing on the go. As we look at the rest of the blue team, we see Strat Bombers coming out from Indiclub and going into energy conversion economy. Meanwhile, Quaif is just building up his metal extractors. He's not been pressured the entire game and is quite happy to just sit there and do nothing. Meanwhile, no Tech 2 from either of the C players. Bombing run is about to come in on this naval force here. On all of Autopilot's ships, heavily up, and it takes out a huge chunk of Autopilot's boats. He does manage to get the reclaim, but now the tides have turned on the south side. Also gets the Geo. Going for a bombing run.
Has self-destructed.
On what we do this is Tidals. And Autopilot tried a self-destruct in order to take out Fiddler's fleet. Both of them are fairly even again when it comes to units, but with Fiddler having so much build power underneath his ships, he's either going to be able to just eat them or repair them very quickly. Also getting the commander now of Autopilot. The platypuses and sniper bots trying to hold the line here, but they don't know there's turtles about to walk up the hill. Is Fiddler gonna go for a com bomb? No. There's a lot of reclaim still there though, 1.3k. Oh, but here they come. Platypuses get taken out by the dolphins, and as the turtles arrive on land, torpedo gunships also start coming out from Indiclub to help Fiddler in the Southern Sea. All of the resources that Slick Like Vic had were gifted here to Juma in order to try and push on, but these turtles are now pretty much free to just roam around and snap at any metal extractors they see. Torpedo bombers helping Fiddler make this push along the bottom. More metal available. There are a decent amount of skaters and AA, but these Tech 2 ships can take a bit of a beating. Now instead it seems going for Watch Me Do This. Watch Me Do This has pretty much no ships left, so this is proving pretty difficult for Autopilot to hold. Turtles are moseying their way through the back line of Juma here. An attempted push is finally making its way out here as 14 platypuses make their way towards the back line of the blue team, but a little too late, really. Red player, Slick Like Vic, already dead. Watch me do this. Pretty much dead as well. Back line of Autopilot's base is being destroyed pretty quickly. And this is just going to nose on straight through, take out all of this Tech 2 economy on this land here. And that'll be Autopilot with pretty much nothing. Just look at the line of them coming out. There we go.
Commander died.
Well, the funny thing is, this game could have been completely different if
Battle ended.
Juma had pushed mid. Juma didn't push mid at all the entire game. And because of that, he, well, his opponent just sat there and gave all of his metal to his teammates. And they were just able to power through. The fact that Fiddler was able to hold 2v1, obviously with assistance from his team with metal and stuff, is tremendous work. And it just seemed like blue team had a plan. They stuck to it, and it paid off in the end. Whereas the red team didn't seem like they really had a plan of what they were doing. Well, I hope you enjoyed this one. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to hit subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.